Henry's just getting set up because I literally walked in the door 30 seconds before airtime. So we've got the radio stuff running. You hearing that? Oh, it's not on yet. You got one other song before my show? Oh, that's it. Yeah, it's on.
Oh.
Sure.
I started over again.
Oh, that's how he started over again. Whoops. Oh, don't know why. It says idiots announces the broadcast twice. It's on. I started the show out today with one of my very favorite country songs, Tennessee Whiskey. I love that song. It's just so smooth and sexy and, you know, kind of like Henry. Oh, I'm just kidding. All right, we're just getting set up, folks, and we'll get started. There's not a lot of crazy news today. It's actually pretty calm in the news oddity department, which is where I find most of that news through the AP Newswire, and it's just not too many people didn't do a lot of stupid things. I'm surprised. Usually there's a lot more stupid people. Henry, do you have a book you can bring in here that I can set this up on as we're getting ready? Okay, let me see the radio side. And too far gone. Are the cameras up, hon? 10. But just a second, we're getting the radio feeds and the international cameras going, because that's always how it starts out. And then just a couple seconds, we'll start this. You have a book I can put this up on? Mm-hmm. So we're just about ready. I see there's a couple people jumped on already. Thank you. We haven't quite launched the show yet. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to get you in here, Henry. See if we can find Henry. There he is. There. I'm going to get you scooting in here. So, for those who are on my Facebook feed, we're just getting the station set up. The music's running. Tennessee Whiskey is my first song today. I love that song. And we're just getting the international cameras up, so I got to say hi to those folks. Are they up?
Yes, we're ready to go.
We're ready to go. Hello. Okay. Hi, and welcome to the WTF show on KUHS Denver's stream. This is Rhonda Shea. I'm with my friend Henry. Say hi, Henry.
Hi.
Lean in. Hi, Henry. And we're just about ready to kick off the show today on the music feed. If you're going to tune into that, it's great today. I started out, like I said, with Tennessee Whiskey. I've got Roy Orbison. I've got who else do we have on there? I can't remember. Getting old.
That is funny, Rhonda.
Tracy Chapman. All kinds of great performers today. We've got some of my very favorite songs, actually. I Can't Wait, Creedence. We've got John Mellencamp. So it's going to be fun. Bonnie Raitt.
Nice.
It's going to be knock it out of the park today. That's right. But I can't see Henry too much. I got to get him over here. Got to scoot over to your left or your right, whatever that is. Scoot over, Hen. There. Scoot over a little more. Scoot over a little more. Scoot over a little more. There. Now see, we're going to look really cute. Oops, I threw that on the floor.
I'll make sure I'm.
It's half of Henry. Wait a minute. There's only half of Henry. I got to move this over.
Turn it like this.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there we got Henry, but still, you got to scoot in a little more.
Like that. Just go like that.
Okay, there we are.
See.
There. All right, there we are. See, we're playing with our computers again. That's all we do here because it's old people and technology. It's really fun. So, Henry, what's been going on?
Oh, I can't tell you. It's a secret.
It's a secret?
It's a secret.
Are you excited about getting the bill passed to help everybody with the COVID relief?
Finally.
I know. Thank God. He's living up to his promises, isn't he?
Gosh.
You know, I'm really glad it was. I'm sure that was tough to pass because every single, now remember this, folks, when you get your check, every single Republican, except one who didn't show up because he probably didn't have the courage to vote either way, voted no.
Why did they
Single Republican voted no because they're in that, you know, they invented, they talk about snowflakes and the cancel culture. Well, they invented the cancel culture. First of all, Christians invented it because they wouldn't shop here, wouldn't go there, wouldn't do this, wouldn't, you know, censoring things, not, you know, all types of stuff like that. And then secondly, the next thing after that is the Republicans invented it. Look at Mitch McConnell. He wouldn't let Obama pass anything. They canceled everything when he was president. Hardly got anything through at all. They stood in the way of obstructionists. That's what they were, and that's what they're doing again. They're being obstructionists, folks. So remember, when you get that COVID relief and you get that unemployment boost and you get that $1,400 check, it was up to Republicans. Zip.
How come, Rhonda? Why is it like that?
Oh, they're just, you know, both sides don't play well with each other, but that side particularly, you know, doesn't do a good job.
I wonder who they are and why they are the way they are.
Well, most of them are millionaires and bazillionaires to begin with, or children of such.
And, you know, they talk a lot about...
They don't understand what the average person goes through.
Yeah, and they talk a lot about getting, what is that called? They always use this buzzword, socialism. Well, they get all this money, right?
Oh, they get $180,000 a year. They get health care. They get a pension for life. You know, but you can't have, you know, $800 a month in Social Security. You know, or $15 an hour. Yeah. Don't even get me started. I have no respect at all. Zip for those lawmakers. Zip. Because they absolutely are disconnected with what the public needs, and they're not there for that. And the misinformation. Have you heard all the misinformation about Dr. Seuss going around?
I don't even understand that. Do you?
Well, here's what happened. This is the truth, plain and simple. The Dr. Seuss people that are in control of his patents and copyrights, mostly his family members, and people entrusted with his legacy lives on forever, okay, and the foundation and the trust and all of that, went through all of the books and determined that there were a few that in today's world, they're probably not the best. They probably are not the best books to have published because there were some things that today look like they might have been prejudicial or might have been
really?
Stereotyping. So nobody told him to do it. Nobody picketed Dr. Seuss. Nobody showed up at Barnes and Nobles chaining themselves to a book stand, you know, and said it's terrible. But they brought it before a group of people from all different walks of life who reviewed it and said, yes, you know what, by today's standards, these books don't meet the positive messaging of diversity and inclusion. So they discontinued them. On their own, they decided we're not going to print these anymore. 6 out of the hundreds and hundreds of titles that Dr. Seuss has. And people have gone nuts because the false narrative that's being pushed out there is, it's the cancel culture, it's the snowflakes, they're all telling Dr. Seuss they can't be Dr. Seuss. You know, and the next thing you know, they won't want Frosty because he's white, and then, you know, and it's like, come on, give me a break. That's not what happened. What happened was it was a responsible company that decided for the best image and the best mission that Dr. Seuss lived for, which was inclusion. He was a wonderful man. No one's saying he didn't live for inclusion. He lived for inclusion, but what standards of the 50s and 60s or 70s are not the same as they were today, and they wanted to be more compliant with that. And so they made a choice on their own. Respect it, people. It was their choice. Had nothing to do with anybody, you know, doing all that. And so it angers me because people are so insensitive, first of all. And, you know, I had someone say, well, I think that this is, and you know what? My response to that is, I don't care what you think.
What about what I think?
I don't care what anybody thinks about it because it's not your decision to make. It was their company's decision to make. And the second thing is, I don't care what you think about it unless you're a minority, because those of us that are not cannot walk in those shoes. We don't know how it affects them, so it doesn't affect us. Oh, I didn't see it that way. Of course not. We're not one of those groups. We are not going to see it the way that they see it. So respect them and what they believe is harmful and what that company believes is harmful, and quit trying to harm people because I don't think that, Karen. Okay, that's my message for the day.
Oh my Lord. Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Dr. Seuss as much as the next one. I was a sneetch in a high school play.
You're a what?
I was a sneetch. I was a star-bellied sneetch. You
What's that?
Star-bellied sneetches have bellies with stars, and plain-bellied sneetches have none upon thars.
Oh my gosh.
The stars weren't so big, they were really quite small. You'd think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. So I was a star-bellied sneetch. I'll have to find a picture and post it. And Debbie...
Did you get your shot?
Rabbit. Rabbit. Let's see. He just had his Pfizer. Robert did. Hi, Robert. Hi, Rich. Injection dose number 2. Oh, he's not rabbit anymore. Oh.
Did you get your shot?
Not yet.
I got mine last night.
No. I mean, I have had one, but I haven't got the second.
Well, I got one last night. Actually, yeah.
Was it penicillin?
Oh, no, it was tequila.
Oh, it was tequila.
It was tequila shot, but I mean, it made me feel good.
Well, I got one, and I'll be getting a second one, hopefully, so we'll just see what happens. I haven't grown a third eye, I haven't grown an arm. Nothing's happened to me. I don't have any reaction. Yeah. But anyway, so we can stop calling each other Cujo now at our house.
Cujo.
I can't wait to get out. I don't know about everybody. I'm sure everybody's the same way. But
Everybody stopped, they're doing this mask thing, oh, no mask mandate. But after the governor in Texas said no mask mandate, he puts his mask on and walks off.
Yeah. I don't get Texas. Nobody in Colorado does. Just so if anybody's on from Texas, we're sorry, but everybody's hated you since like 1965 here. So it's not new. We're not a fan of Texans. I think we should close the border to them. Don't let them in. If they're not going to, be doing mask mandates and stuff because their population has the lowest percentage of people choosing to take the vaccine. Now, if you live there, they've got a great distribution and you can get it. But the lowest percentage of people opting to take the vaccine is in the state of Texas. How do you like that?
I like that. That's the best.
And then they decide not to wear masks. Okay.
Okay, so from the state of Texas, they have no electricity. They have no running water.
It's a great
and no
state.
masks.
Yeah, the yellow rose of Texas. She smells so good and sweet. She uses her deodorant and puts it on her feet.
All my Texas live in X's.
All my exes live in Texas.
It's the vice versa.
All the exes. Yeah, they've been having a hard time. I feel sorry for the people there, but hopefully they'll get it straightened out. They need a better infrastructure, obviously, and I don't know. Who knows about the mask mandate? Hopefully it doesn't kill too many people, and if it does, they're at least red voters.
Jesus.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
All right, I'm half kidding. No, I don't want anybody to get sick, but that's not good. But I do think that we all have to be vigilant, and we have to wear those masks until the majority of the population is inoculated, and that's it.
Inoculated. And they're doing a lot. I like the single inoculation one.
Yeah, it's not as effective,
They say that, but it is.
But the test results show that it's not. So, science, it's pretty effective, but it's about 10% less effective than the others. But it's better than nothing, right? Keep you out of the hospital, keep you out of the intubator.
We're both having trouble.
I know we can't talk today. I was up till 4 in the morning, that's why.
Doing what?
I was watching the Vampire Diaries. I got stuck on it. And I looked up and it was 4 in the morning.
What were you doing till 4 in the morning?
Watching Vampire.
Having a roll in the hay,
No,
probably.
not that time of day.
No?
Not that time of day.
Serious?
That's too tired. Everybody's too tired. Everybody, like there's more than 2. Everybody is too tired.
You caught that. I was like, whoa.
Everybody was too tired. Everybody in our orgy was way too tired by 4 in the morning.
That's what I thought.
Janice is on. Hi, Janice. Janice is a friend of mine from college. She's a great artist, and she does great work.
Hi, Janice. How are you?
Hi, Janice. How are you? She's up in Chicago, up north, up there somewhere, in one of those northern
You like
suburbs.
Chicago?
I do. It's nice.
Do you like their pizzas?
No, too thick. I don't like those thick pizzas. I
You
like
like them
thin.
thin?
Yeah.
Crispy?
Crispy and thin.
What do you like on it?
Just like my men.
Crispy and thin?
I'm just
You don't like them thick?
No, I don't like
Jesus, Rhonda.
I said pizza.
Oh.
I'm talking
You
pizza.
said men.
I know, I said just like my men. I don't want a fat man. I got one, but I don't want him. If anybody, I'm just kidding.
No, she's not.
Kind of.
No, she's
I'm
not.
not kidding. I am.
Yeah.
Jeez. My husband was the reason I was late, by the way.
Oh, that's no reason. You know what? The real reason, she went to the back door in the building, pounding on the door, nobody's there, and then she came to the front door, pounded, and still nobody there. So she started calling me and then went back to the back door. I said, come back to the front door. So she kept going back and forth. And,
Yeah, they kept running me around.
Yeah.
Actually, what happened was, he went out, he's got a bad knee, which he needs knee surgery, so he wraps it up and plays tennis anyway, which is totally stupid to begin with. Then he plays that, and well, in the process of doing that, he leaves his wallet in his car when he goes to the convenience store and gets it stolen. So he
Oh,
comes
my
in
God.
screaming like it's my fault. I'm trying to do the show, causes me to hit the wrong button, and I lost the entire show and had to re-record it. Then, yeah, for the music, I lost all the music. Then he starts hollering at me that I need to help him. I said, well, I have a call to do for work, and I'm going to go to the station, and I can't do anything to help you. He starts pouting like a little baby and throwing stuff. God. So finally, I said,
You're not talking about your husband.
yeah,
right?
yeah. It was a pain in the ass today. So finally, I wrote down his numbers to call, and I said, here, call the credit card companies and take care of this. Well, I hear him on the phone talking to Kohl's, who they finally resolved it. But they were like, he didn't update his address. So since he gave them the wrong address, they wouldn't let him close the account. They wouldn't let him block the account.
Wow.
And I said, give me that damn phone. I said, okay, here's the deal. Either block this account, cancel this account, or whoever charges on it, we're not paying it. If you
You're
give us
responsible.
yeah,
Yes.
if you give us a bad credit rating, we don't even care. We don't need it. So it's like, see it. So then she said, well, okay, we can, but he's got a credit of $130 and you'll lose that. I said, why? Because we can't mail you a check because he didn't give us the right address.
What?
Yeah, and I said, okay, let's back this up because this is not working. And so anyway, after I had a conversation with them, they decided they could transfer that money to my card. So in the long run, my husband lost his wallet. I gained $130 credit on Kohl's. Yes!
Let's go buy us something after this.
Yeah, I will. We're just going to spend his money now because he made me mad.
Because what time is Kohl's open till? Because I really need a pair of shoes.
Really? Okay, let's go.
And some pants.
We're
and a shirt.
going to go say, hey, Patty, too bad. Janice said best pizza ever. 'Cause Chicago does have some really good pizza.
Does it really?
It's just, yeah, it really is delicious. But the crust is always a little too
I
thick
think
for
pizza
me.
is good anywhere you buy it, as long as
New
it's
York, Chicago.
built, made right. Where do you think they have the best Mexican food? In Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, or
Colorado,
California?
hands down.
Hands
Mexico's
down.
second.
Yeah, you think so? Colorado, almost everybody I know eats green chili.
Oh yeah, we love green chili.
Everybody.
I make it. We have it a couple
Yeah.
times a week. We get it at restaurants. We drink it like
Yeah.
canned, like water, like this. Oh, it's green chili. Yeah.
It's like my granddaughters. They're both really young. She turned 15, the other one turned 11. And when they were much younger, about 3 or 4 years younger, they'd always say, I don't know how you eat that chili, Grandpa, blah, blah. Now aren't you going to smother my burrito too? I go, it's hot chili. Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
It's like
We would put hot chili on everything, toast.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any difference. Like, what do you want? My husband, he likes jalapeno jam too.
Yes, oh, I love
So we're
it.
always having that. It's good, and that's really good with a little bit of cream cheese
one of the
on a
worst,
cracker.
one of the worst things to do, and I've done this. I don't know why I don't listen to what I'm thinking. Every time I eat a serrano chili, I eat it raw. You know.
Oh,
just
those
with
are
my
hot.
food. Yes, very hot. And even if you wash your hands, it still stays.
Yeah, and then you touch your eye.
My eye. I went to go pee.
Oh.
I go, whoa! Did
Oh
I
my
catch
God.
a venereal disease or something? A UTI? What's going on?
Whoa.
Oh God!
That's okay. That's called
Hot pee-pee.
Hispanic. That's called Hispanic pee-pee. And when
Hot pee-pee.
yeah, and you don't have to go to the doctor because you know it takes care of itself. It'll fall off all by itself. No.
That's real. That really did happen to me.
Well, I bet it did. Hey, let's look at some crazy news. You want to do that?
Sure.
All right. First of all, my daughter Aaliyah FaceTimed me. If I wanted her to hate me,
Excuse me.
oh bless you. If I wanted her to hate me, I'd put her on the video, but I won't. I'm playing one of her songs today in my set.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the second one from the end. So let's see what's on AP News. Let's see if there's anything good. There's the Pope, but that's not funny.
The Pope.
The Pope's great. I love the new Pope. Okay, this Pope is the best Pope in 100 years, I think. He's phenomenal. He is meeting with I don't know if you've heard this, but the top Shiite cleric and the Pope are giving a message together of coexistence and trying to strive for peace. And I think that man is just a blessed human being. He's wonderful. Okay, let's see if we could find AP News. What's going on here? All right, well, the first COVID bill is passed, so some of us will get, I don't know if we will or not, but some people will get a $1,400 check, and they're going to get up to $300 a week for assistance to add on
When
if
does
they've
that
been laid off. That should, last time they passed it, it only took a few days to get it through. Yeah. So I would expect it within the next week or two, probably. And I know there's new PPE out there, actually. To help people with their small businesses. That's 500 employees and less. That seems kind of big, but that's what it is. And with some special consideration for those smaller businesses. So we're finally getting some support. You like that song?
I love that song. Are you, Rhonda? We're from the same era. Come on.
I know. I love that. I love Beth Hart. Beth Hart is.
Oh, I love Beth
I've got Beth Hart
yeah.
on there. I've got Tracy Chapman. I've got
These are good. Like if you're having a house party or anything like that, backyard party, have this kind of music.
Oh, I know.
Having some drinks, having something to eat, and some laughs. Having Rhonda Shea there enjoying.
Yeah, I can come to your party if you want. If you're having a party and you want to invite me, I'll come and make fun of people. All right, there you go. By the way, if you want to tune into my, I haven't pushed it much, but I'm going to start now. So if you want to join the WTF Facebook page, I haven't really been too active on it, but I'm going to get more. So it's just the WTF Radio Network. And if you want to join that, you can do that. And I post the shows and the feeds afterwards and the music feeds on there as well. Okay, so here's something. Let's see if we can find something. Oh, this is the best. This one is the best. Why can't this happen to me, Henry? Are you ready? A yard sale. A guy goes to a yard sale in Connecticut. He picks up this little blue kind of pottery, like the old kind of blue china with the decorations bowl. All right? Buys it for $35. It looks like it's an antique, so he takes it somewhere and discovers it's a ancient, I would say ancient, but it's a Chinese bowl from several hundred years ago. And get this, it's worth between $300,000 and $500,000.
And he bought it for a couple bucks.
Bought it for $35 at a yard sale. And so the piece is one of only 7 such bowls known to exist in the world. It'll be up for auction on New York, March 17th as part of Sotheby's auction of important Chinese art. The buyer is not being named, paid the $35 asking price and later emailed the information and photos to Sotheby's. Now, I don't know about that. What do you think about that ethically?
I like that.
Do you think it's ethical? If you go to a yard sale for somebody and find something that's worth $500,000 and you pay...
Of course. Let me tell you some of the things that used to happen. We used to have a piano store, and we'd go pick up these old pianos all the time. And you know how the lids flip up and all that. A lot of jewelry and diamonds.
Yeah, you got to check in there.
And I would always check in there. I used to find silver certificates kind of shoved up in there from way back in the 30s. You know, remember what silver certificates were?
I have.
Diamonds, all this stuff. I mean, not worth nowhere near that amount, but quite a bit. It was interesting to find all this stuff inside these pianos. So I know what it's like. I'm not gonna. I bought the piano. I get the piano, whatever.
I don't know. I would have a hard time if I went to a yard sale. I don't know if I'd do that.
I found this.
But I think what I would do
wedding
is
ring, diamond ring. It was worth a little over $3,700, and.
Well, that's not. It's not like $500,000.
No,
I would have a hard time with that. I think what I would.
Sure, I can tell by the way you blink in your eyes right there. That
I would take the money and rent. No, but what I'm thinking is that.
I would take the money and rent.
What I would do is I would sell it, and then I would anonymously, because I wouldn't want them to sue me for the rest of it. I'd be afraid they would want all of the money, and I did buy it legally. So I would send them a check for a certain, I don't know, maybe it was $10,000, something, so that they got some better benefit than $35, and I would send them some money. And I would just put it in an envelope, leave it at their door, and say, surprise, and not tell them why, and that'd be it. But,
I'm wondering about that, Rhonda. I'm watching you, and I'm wondering.
You're thinking I keep, I wouldn't, you know what?
Rhonda Shea.
That's bad karma, baby. That's bad juju. That's bad juju.
I always told my
Can't do
son,
that to people.
I nicknamed him Juju.
Did you really?
Because he always said, why did you nickname me Juju? Because you'll see as you grow older what bad juju means.
I love Beth Hart.
So I told him, bad juju. You're a bad juju.
Bad juju. That's what I tell my husband. You're bad juju.
God,
Today is a bad juju. You know what? This man, let me tell you something. The number of times that he has lost a wallet and that we've had to replace it, and he's lost the money and all the cards, is incalculable. The man loses wallets like most people change socks.
Oh, Lord.
And it's like, and so I'm very frustrated with it. This is probably, it's been about a year. About once every 1 to 2 years, he loses a wallet.
Wow.
Yeah, he's bad. I mean, and his phone, I can't tell you how many. It's like having a teenager. My kids have lost no phones. Right? My husband loses a phone every other day. I've lost one.
Oh, wow.
I put it on the roof of my car.
It took off.
I set it down when I was talking to somebody. I did find it. I couldn't stop. It was on I-25. It was on where there's the overpass, so there's only about that much shoulder. And I see my phone there, and I'm like, it's like it.
Gone.
Yeah.
Well, what was interesting, though, is I did find a guy's wallet. He left it on top of his car, too, and I found his wallet. It had money in it, cards, everything. I called him up and let him know I found his wallet with everything, gave him his everything with money, everything included. And after a while, he stood there, standing there looking at me, how come you didn't take the money or anything like that? I go, wow, it's not mine. I seen it fall off your car. Why would I want all your stuff? I just returned it to you. And he reached in his wallet, pulled out all the money and gave it to me. It was like $75.
That was sweet.
But, I didn't even want to take it because, come on. But I took it.
No, I would have taken it and gave it to you.
He gave it to me.
Now, I'll tell you, did I tell that story about being stuck in Mexico? Have I told that on the air before?
I'm not sure. Let's start
Okay,
it. And if you start it and we've heard it before, I'll stop.
Stop me. All right. So
okay, stop.
My husband and I went to Mexico when we were about 32 years old, before we had kids even. So we went to Mexico because I was working at Kim Radio and I got a trip. They gave, they had trade back then and everybody got to go places free until the government figured it out. But anyway, so I went to Mexico on this trade trip, and it was a beautiful tennis resort in Puerto Vallarta. And he was always a workaholic, so he couldn't take off. I had a whole week, there for free. And I'm like, I'm not going to go for 3 days because you won't go. I'm going ahead of time. So I took off and I went to Mexico. We had bought our tickets. We had all this, and I had about $300 on me because we didn't have any money back then. And I'm walking around Puerto Vallarta, the town, and the people are so poor that I just gave away all my money because I felt so bad. I mean, I'd see these people, I'm like, really? Like $20? What would that do for them? So by the time it ended up, I pretty much had about $15, $20 left to my name.
Wow.
But Patty was coming, because every day I'd see somebody, and every day I'd feel my heart would break. And I just, I can't have fun when I think of somebody starving. So, it's just that, okay, I'm going to have fun over here, but you can starve over there. And I'm like, I'm just going to give them the money. So anyway, so I'm at, we're in Mexico. I'd given away all the money. We had about $25 or $30. Patty arrives, didn't bring any money with him.
Oh, Lord.
I thought he would, but he was late for the plane, didn't get any money. All right, and back then, there's no ATMs, there's you have a charge card, you can go to a bank. So we get there, we have enough money for that night, and then we have about, like I said, $30, $40 left. And he says, maybe we should go to the bank. So the next day we go to the bank, El Banco, to see if we can get money on our, like our charge card, or see if we can get money. Well, I'd gone out right before we left, and I bought cabinets for the kitchen, so the charge card was maxed out. But I thought he'd have his, but he didn't want to bring an extra one, so he didn't. So now we have a maxed out charge card and about $50 to our name. And we've got another 3 or 4 days in Mexico. Thank God everything was inclusive in this resort. So we just went to all the timeshare things, and got all the free trips and the boat rides and all that stuff. And we're leaving Mexico. So Mexico had a tax to get in and out of the country, which I didn't really know because we were stupid young kids. And when we bought our airplane ticket, by the time we bought the ticket and the time that we went home, they had raised the tax. So we needed another $25 a person to get out of the country, and we didn't have any money. We had like $10 on us.
Wow.
So we get to the airport, we can't leave. Now in the meantime, the little money my husband had when he got there, he spent because he liked those little Mexican puppets. So he bought like 8 puppets for $10 each. He spent $80 on puppets. He was going to give them to all the kids, all our friends' kids, and he's got all these dumb puppets, and he had them in a suitcase, just so you know. So we're there. He starts fighting with me. You spent all the money. I said, well, what'd you do with your money? You bought a bunch of dumb puppets. We can't get out of the country. We can't leave. And then he got really upset, and he goes, okay, now I know what I'm going to have to do. I guess I'm going to have to sell my puppets. So he gets out of the airport, and he's got Mexican puppets, and he's trying to sell them to get enough money to get home. And he's mad at me, and he's pissed off, and he's like, want to buy a puppet? And people are just like going the other way. It's like, no, go away. So we're sitting there, and he's yelling at me, and he's got these puppets hanging off of him, and people go by and go, want a puppet? And this big, tall guy comes up with a cowboy hat, and he just walks up, and he's laughing his head off, and he hands my husband a $50 bill, and he goes, here. And he goes, oh, give us your name, we'll pay you back. He goes, no, just go home. And he goes, this was worth the entertainment. I haven't laughed this hard in about 2 years. He said, I can't stop laughing. The guy's laughing. He gives us $50. So he turns away, and I take the money, and I go, give it to me. I'm going to go up here, we're going to pay the thing. So I grab the money, and he looks at me, and he gets all mad, puts his puppets in the suitcase, and he says, now you've done it. You've turned me into a Hare Krishna. He didn't talk to me the whole way back to Colorado.
Mad, but he had his puppets.
He had his puppets. He had the puppets. But oh my God, if you saw this big, at that time he had just been done playing college football, so he had 21-inch, 24-inch neck, 54-inch chest, a tiny waist. He was in remarkable shape, with all these muscles, and he's madder than hell, and he's holding these puppets, and every time somebody go by the kid, he'd just scream at him, you want to buy a puppet?
Scaring the hell out of him.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, that's what happened to us. Well, we should write these stories down because they're just...
Oh, some of them. There's so many things in life that you look back and think, how did I get through something like that?
No.
Everybody's been in these predicaments or situations where you think, how did I do that? Why was I doing that? What in Jesus?
I can't believe we lived. Look at this story. A cat vanished 15 years ago in New York, I think. No, Los Angeles. And it was reunited with its owner. After 15 years of being on the run, they found it. So the cat went astray about 15 years ago. He was reunited older.
Was it a feral cat after that?
And I don't know. Brandy, a brown tabby, was reunited Monday afternoon with Charles, who adopted her as a 2-month-old kitten in 2005.
Wow.
It's amazing. I think it's unbelievable.
How would they know it's
I saw her. I picked her up, and she started to purr. It was very emotional. It was nice to have her in my arms again.
But how would he know that's his cat?
I don't know. Let's see. Brandy was found Sunday in Palmdale, about 40 miles from where Charles lived in the where do you live, in the San Francisco area? Okay, let's see.
So if you lost Patty 15 years later, would you still recognize it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'd take him back in.
Probably would. Anyway, he looked for her, he checked the animal shelters, and then I guess they just found him in our backyard, somebody said, and then they went to bring him inside, and she went outside, he went to bring her in, she was gone. So 15 years later, she's found about 40 miles away from where he lived. And I don't know if she was chipped. Let's see how they found her. Sure. I don't know. Anyway, changed his address, he had moved. Basically, she weighed as much as as when she was a kitten. So she must have been out on her own. She was malnutritioned, weighed only 6 pounds.
Oh, Lord.
Wow. She survived 15 years in the wilderness, and he found her in the wilderness of California. Probably wasn't eaten by a homeless person. They got a big problem, don't they? Yes. Oh, my God. Mm-hmm. They got a big problem. Everybody does, but we got to figure that out, don't we? Here's another one. Now, you turn that down because you're going to hear my voice twice if we don't. But here's another one. There was a surgeon. Can you imagine? I was a plastic surgeon. Okay, now listen, this is a clue. If your doctor does this, get a new doctor. He had to go to court for a traffic ticket, and it's virtual. So he set up his computer and checked into court and was talking to court while he was operating in the operating theater, giving a person an operation.
What?
And so it was streamed back to the court, and it's all public, and the medical board saw it, and now they're going to pull his license, and they should. So he's in there, he says, are you ready for court? And he says, yes, sir, I am. I'm in the operating room right now. And so he's doing this, and he's talking to him, and they're saying, Mr. So-and-so, what happened? Blah, 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 just a second, cutting on the person.
Jesus. You don't do those things.
Is it too much to ask when you're making, I don't know, $25,000 for a little incision?
An hour, yeah.
Yeah. To actually pay attention when you to that client, I mean...
And there's a lot of doctors doing some crazy things.
That's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So they're just like, oh, I've got a Zoom call while they're doing surgery.
Like that one Zoom call where the guy couldn't get the cat or that face off of the lawyer or whoever.
It seems like the more educated people are, the stupider they're being with Zoom.
Yes.
It's like the lawyer had their head be like a cat, the doctor's doing surgery while he's doing a traffic violation court.
Or the lady with her baby, or the little girl that's on, she has to log in to go to school and she's on Zoom. And she comes out of the bathtub, or the shower.
That happened to my husband. He walked by naked.
She's naked.
He walked by behind me. Yeah. I was like, I'm on a Zoom call.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Well, this is a really sad story, so it's not funny, but it's very sad. There was a teacher that was doing Zoom calls with her 7-year-old, first graders, 6, 7-year-olds, and she sees this young man come up behind the 6-year-old and proceeded to sexually assault her, not
Whoa.
realizing it was on TV.
Yeah.
And the kids in the classroom, because they had were like, "What's going on? Somebody's hurting her." And she looks, and so of course immediately she had the kids turn away, and they called protective services and arrested him. But
Wow.
they all witnessed an assault during the during the Zoom call. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It was horrible. And
There's so much that's been going on with this pandemic that it's created this whole new way of the way people are doing assaults, domestic violence. I mean, you name it. There's this whole new.
It's up tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
The domestic violence and child abuse statistics are up as much as 70% during this
Now,
pandemic.
I've been trying to, like call the child protective services for me, but that didn't work. They said you're too old. So then I went into the domestic violence people and asked if they'd come and help me, but no, they didn't. Then they asked, who is this? I told them my name. They go, oh, no, we don't cover you. Sorry.
Actually, there are shelters for men. Some men.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Domestic violence, most of it is.
Women can be pretty mean.
Yeah, most of it is male on female, but there are some times when it's the other way around, especially emotional and financial abuse by women, and also there's also abuse between gay couples. So you have that going on as well. So there are men that are affected with this, and
wow.
it is a man's problem anyway, because it's the man usually perpetrating the violence.
What do you think is going to happen now? Okay, all of a sudden I don't see how it could happen so quickly. Okay, no more mask mandates. Just okay, everybody can get back to going to work and opening up bars and all. I don't get how come it's so quick.
You mean with just all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Everybody's sick of it, so everybody's letting it go. And please don't let it go, folks. If you've gotten the shot, even after you get the second one, keep wearing your mask. Think about other people who can't get the shot.
But there's a lot of people who aren't.
I know.
They're going into. They're just nobody's.
Well, the stores are going to have to enforce it and keep it going.
How long do you think it's going to go? Till like June?
Oh, I think it's going to be completely until we have some kind of herd immunity. It may be the rest of this year.
So they get everybody inoculated.
Yeah, to get everything, and then you got people who don't want to do it. And and I understand that they think it's a personal choice. Well, then for God's sakes, please, if you didn't take the vaccine, wear your mask, because you need to. There's a difference. It's like my personal choice might be to drive on the left side of the road instead of the right, and if I kill a bunch of people, it's my fault. And I look at it that way. Wear a mask, social distance, be careful, even if you've had the shot, because we don't know if you can carry it to other people, and many other people haven't had the shot yet. So once we get most of our population, then the slackers can go outside and hang out, with the rest of us, the people who have no compassion for others and, don't believe in vaccines. I have a big issue with people who are anti-vaxxers. I think that it's very selfish. I think that there's no science behind it. That they're risking the population. And I believe that we shouldn't allow it. I mean, I just don't think we should. Should be you're vaccinated unless you've got a real medical reason.
Like Joe Biden came out and says he wants to keep the mask mandates going, but all these governors are just going against it for some odd reason.
Oh, well,
and I'm not sure why they're doing that. And it's like they should keep it going, I think, for a full month.
Because people don't like it, and they're more worried about being reelected as a governor than they are the safety of their people. That's I mean, ultimately, and it's become a political statement. All of this has, which is ridiculous. Stupidity knows no color. It's red, it's blue.
Mm-hmm.
You see them both. So, just get in there and get your shots and get your mask and quit, And if you can't take one because you're immune compromised or you're allergic to some of the components or you're on chemotherapy or something like that, then that's a different story. And that's why we take it. The healthy people take it so that the sick people can survive.
And like Biden put up this thing for, to help with buying more vaccines, going with the single vaccine. Some other company jumped in to help them produce it. But there's a lot of people, I'm not sure why they're going against Biden. I mean, he's really pushing hard. He's 2 months ahead of time trying to get everybody vaccinated.
He's doing great.
He is on top of it. I've never seen anybody be so on top of it like he has been. But yet, they're running into all these different variables of having to deal with the governors and everybody else. Now, tell me what you think of Como. All of a sudden they're attacking Como.
Well, I'm not sure. Here's the thing with Como.
And I don't understand this. Okay.
Well, I understand it. There's a reason.
Well, all of a sudden these girls come out of nowhere.
Well, here's what I think. First of all, if you didn't get upset over President Trump saying he was going to grab him by the the you-know-whatsy, then we have no business not getting upset over Como.
That's right.
Right?
That's
I mean,
what
that's
I'm telling you.
hypocritical.
Yeah,
You know, he's got 27 actual cases in court for rape and sexual assault that were delayed because he was president that are now coming to light.
Right.
So if you can dismiss those, you can dismiss some guy making a joke.
Yeah,
You know,
and
Cuomo.
he was just, you
Yeah.
know, just hanging. I think it's they're trying to go after him.
Well, here's what I think. If Cuomo is the governor and and they're going after the attorney general too, that they're putting out smear campaigns. If Cuomo is the governor and you've got he can pardon, whoever the governor is can pardon anybody, right?
Right.
So if they get rid of him and all those cases of Trump's are in the New York courts, right? So if they can, that's what they're spending all this money from the Trump campaign money that you donated to him to go after Cuomo and to go after this other guy, so that hopefully they'll have their people in place by the time all this stuff goes to court, and they'll either
Dismiss.
drop it
Yes.
or the then governor will.
And it's true.
pardon him.
And Como and the other guy that was in there do not like each other. And I heard that that's why he left New York City, because Como and him did not get along.
Yeah. And so he's out to get him, and so, you have to wonder. Now, did he say some inappropriate things? He might. I've worked in many work environments where people say inappropriate things, Henry. But and when I was younger, I worked in...
Well, why do you say all those inappropriate things?
I know, we just do. But anyway, when I was younger, I worked in an environment, and, women, and I'm not excusing it. If it makes you uncomfortable, that's fine. But for the
I'm
most part...
uncomfortable.
Okay. Too bad. No, for the most part, if somebody's making a gesture at you or they're talking that way, if you just say, hey, don't appreciate it, they back off. It's not...
Well, ain't it like this,
You
though?
know.
If he's really a cute guy and everything, it's a date. If he's ugly and nasty,
It's
it's
he came after me. Yeah. If he's poor and ugly, forget it. Wow, he actually wanted me at work. But if it's like,
really
somebody-
good looking,
yeah.
I'll meet you across the street.
Okay, I'll be there.
I'll be there.
So it may have been, and you don't know their background, so I'm not going to say we shouldn't believe them. We need to look into it, and if he was inappropriate, he needs to and he has apologized.
Okay, now what is inappropriate?
Well, you can't really say anything that offends anybody pretty much is inappropriate anymore. So
It's like,
you
yeah,
can't
that's what I'm saying.
you can't really walk into a
You
room
can't and say,
and say-
man, you look fine. You gotta say,
Well, you could say, hey, you
you
look
are
great
smartly
today.
dressed.
Well, you could say to anybody, you look good today.
You can't even say
I like
that.
what you're wearing.
You can't say that either.
You can't say that? Oh,
I told you.
okay.
The new one is, you are smartly dressed today.
Oh, good.
You look appropriate.
Yeah, you look appropriate. But, people know the difference. And so he may have come on a little strong. He may have been kidding. I mean, he's from a family of kidders, a big family back east. A lot of that kind of behavior back
He's
east.
Italian.
And they
And they
kid.
like a joke and kid and laugh.
And hug but you can't do that necessarily in the workplace. So,
But see, okay, if they're in the workplace, you can't do that, but if you go across the street having drinks,
you can't do it anyway if they work for you.
Oh, really?
You really can't, no. So there needs to be a little more conscious effort to not do that. Now, if he did anything beyond that, if he wasn't just kidding him or flirting with him a little bit here and there, if he actually touched him or actually cornered him in an office or said, you're not going to get a promotion unless you sleep with me, then he needs to be in trouble for it.
Well, sleeping ain't that bad, but if you have sex,
Yeah,
that's
that's
something
right.
different.
Yeah.
Sleep, I mean, you have to sleep.
You know what I noticed? I was watching Cruise of Thrones. They have more sex on that show.
Oh, so you were watching?
I was watching Cruise of Thrones, and it's like
Did
they
you
have,
ever
they have a
watch
little
it and
midget.
say-
They have this midget guy. Is that appropriate? Short person? I don't know what you're supposed to call him. Anyway, there's this guy.
They
He's
have
a
more
little short
sex on
guy.
it, and I was watching
And
it.
he was the first 10 episodes, all he was doing was having sex. And I said, I'm really getting bored of this. It's like he's half the size of the women. I'm like, how's that happen? And anyway, so I sped it up. And I'm going to tell you something. If you ever speed through a sex scene in a movie, like because you're on,
It is hilarious.
it's hysterical. It's like they look like rabbits. It's like, what? It's like, oh my God. There's nothing worse than watching a little guy have sex with this big giant woman is putting it in fast motion. It's like,
You were
like a
watching
little ant
this.
crawling up and down her.
Tell me you were watching this.
I had to watch Game of Thrones. I have to watch Game of Thrones because, didn't I tell you this? Maybe I meant to make the announcement. Because in May of 2022, I have accepted a role as one of the information officers on the Cruise of Thrones. So I
She's going to go watch the midgets
in
live.
person. I'm going to watch him have sex in person. No, but I'm getting on the boat. We're going to Rome. We're doing a big kickoff event in Rome. I'll be 27 days at sea and about 3 or 4 days at Rome, and spending the month of June basically.
And what
at
about
sea.
Patty?
He can come if he wants. I can
Is he
bring him.
coming?
He's planning on part of it. You know, I don't know if he'll be able to go the whole 2 weeks because he's got to work. So he'll has a vacation though, so
And
he'll
then
take his vacation.
He'll fly there and then fly all the way back.
Yeah, he might not go the whole time. So I might, you know, and one of the ports you can have people come on and off. So there's 2 routes. And by the way, if you're interested in this Cruise of Thrones, it's a fan cruise, and there's Cruise of Thrones on the internet if you can look it up. But it's going to take off in May of 2022. It's one of the most amazing trips. Southern trip goes around for all the southern ports where they filmed, which includes Portugal, Rome, I think Spain, Malta, you know, all those around and back to England, and then Ireland and Scotland, and then up to Iceland, and then to Croatia and back to Rome.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait.
That
So we're
alone
spending about a
for
month
you
at
is going to
sea.
be a blast.
And well, I'm retiring from regular work at the end of this year, maybe a little sooner, and I'm going to be I wanted to travel, so I'm trying to do things where I can earn my keep and not have to pay for it.
That is awesome.
So yeah, it's going to be really cool. So we're doing that, and then, but anyway, so back to the point of, it's like Netflix is like, I mean, it's like there's so much I can't get
Everything you
over.
want could be there and is there.
It's unbelievable. I mean, every show has like
Sex.
tons of it. I mean, it's not just like a little scene here and there. It's like, oh my God, you know.
Oh, yes, Rhonda, what do you mean? Oh my God.
And then because you get bored of it, you know. It's like,
Do you really?
How many times can you watch like high school kids have sex on some of these damn shows like Vampire Diaries? They're vampire high school kids, and all they do is bite people in the neck and have sex. It's like, really? Speed it up, speed it up, speed it up.
Well, they say that even elderly people, even from their 55s all the way to their 75s, still have sex, and it's better than ever. And most of the older ones are using the social media to connect.
Really? I've heard that. I actually heard
It's
that there was a
really-
giant outbreak of
STD.
venereal diseases
Yeah.
in nursing homes.
Well, what's nice about nursing homes is, you know, some of them have Alzheimer's, and so you can go to the chick, you know, one night and then come back again the next night. She thinks you're somebody new.
Oh, shut up. She'll forget she even had it.
That's
That's like
You
date
start over.
rape. That's like geriatric date rape. Take out an Alzheimer's patient.
Date rape.
That's bad.
And you are who? I'm Henry. Then you come back the next day. Oh, I don't remember you. What's your name, Henry? Oh, hi.
That's
What's your name?
terrible.
Henry?
Okay, that's bad.
Yeah, well, that's
bad. That's bad. That's just bad, okay?
Horrible,
Worse
huh?
than Cuomo.
That's worse than Cuomo.
It might be right up there with Trump.
Well, no, that takes a lot.
Oh, yeah, it takes a lot.
You know, it's like to watch.
Who do you think the most disgusting, now that Trump's out of the picture for a while, or he's trying to be in it, but he's not, who do you think the most disgusting elected official is today?
That one guy from Tennessee.
Texas. Oh.
The other one from Tennessee. What's his name?
Oh, Mitch McConnell?
That guy.
You don't like, here's
He
my...
has got, he says one thing, you know, the Native
he's an
Americans
ass.
used to always say this. You speak us with forked tongue. That's Mitch McConnell.
Oh, yeah.
He'll say this and then he'll say that and he'll say this.
What I loved was
keeps
that he
collecting them.
blocked the impeachment from getting brought to
Yeah.
the Senate until after Donald Trump was out of office. And then he said, I can't vote for it because he's not in office. Oh. Yeah.
That's politics.
His
style.
wife's in trouble. They're investigating her right now for.
Yeah, she's really
yeah.
good looking for him.
Well, they're investigating her when she was transportation secretary, saying she gave favors to her dad who owns a ship line.
Mhm.
So she may be in criminal trouble right now.
Yeah, right. Because
And then one of Trump's aides, political appointees that was an aide, was just arrested as being one of the people with the flagpole that beat the guy,
Oh yeah.
cop. Yeah. So one of
And
his
it's funny
one of his
about it,
actual White
yeah.
House aides just got arrested.
It's funny that all of them are just a bunch of criminals.
Oh, they are. They're
And
horrible.
they're still being crazy.
What's funny is that people actually fall for it.
Yeah, and go along.
And go along with it. It's like, I don't know if I think they're brainwashed, if you want to. They only vote the way they've always voted, and they don't really look into things. And
He's my
it's pretty
president.
bad.
He's still the president.
Or because he's Republican, they're going to vote for it. But this isn't the Republican Party of my father. It isn't the Republican Party of mine. You know, and that's why I left it. It's filled with, you know, here's what I look at it this way, and I've said this before. If I invited you into my home to a party, and you walked in, and there was a Proud Boy having a drink at the bar, and next to him was a guy with a white hood, and on the other side was an Oath Keeper, and then there's a couple of QAnon people, would you want to stay at that party?
Oh my God.
No! No! You'd leave, because it's a moral decision not to associate yourself with that
the
type of scum.
That's right.
And that's what they're doing. They're choosing their bedfellows, which are scumballs, frankly, and I have nothing good to say about any of those groups, and no one should. So they're choosing who they are laying down with.
That's right.
You know, and it's like, and you lose all credibility as a responsible person. I think you lose credibility to a degree as a Christian. I think you lose credibility when you lay down with dogs, you get fleas. You know, right? And that's what's going on. That's what's going on.
And what's interesting is 2020 had to be one of the most craziest times of the United States history, I think. One of the craziest. Because with the pandemic, this type of leadership, it wasn't even leadership, it was just, you know, these type of people that were in these offices doing whatever.
That's my daughter's song, by the way.
Is it really? Doing whatever they wanted to do.
I know. This is Aaliyah Shea, my daughter. This is one of her songs. Can they hear it?
Oh, man, she can make it big, and you know it. And
She's
I know
16
it.
singing this, and she wrote it.
You and I
She wrote this
both
song.
know this.
Yeah. She wrote this, and she was 16 at the time. This is one of her CDs.
If you and I were doing this, we would have went after it. But
Oh yeah, she didn't want to do it. She wanted to be a chef.
That's right.
So it's fine.
That's right.
But imagine being 16, writing this song, words, you know, the melody, and recording it.
Can they go down?
Can what go down?
Like that.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there's more people on there. Hi, Sue Weaver. I didn't see you there. Hi, Sue. Yep, just got the shot as we could transfer it. Jill West. Hi, Jill. Nice seeing you. Jill is a great DJ. She was for years and years in Phoenix and Denver and California. She's doing other things now. She went back to school, became a scientist.
See, I was saying the same thing. You're watching midgets.
I know. You watch
Have
the midget.
sex.
Photography. Matt Getz, Florida. She hates Matt Getz. Okay, we'll go back to that. All right, we'll turn Aaliyah down.
You can put that back up.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Move that one. You move that
Oh,
one.
I moved the wrong one. See, he's telling me not to move it.
Go back up.
Oh, now what did I do?
You put it down there.
Oh, God, so you're watching me be a tech idiot again.
Right there.
Tech idiot. So let's see. Matt Getz in Florida. Yes, I agree. He's one of them. That Howley, that nut job Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Oh, Jesus.
that stupid one from Colorado.
Ooh, that one from Colorado. What? How did she get loose?
I don't know. She
Who
doesn't
let
even,
her out of the
she
doghouse?
can't, you know, she doesn't even have a, well, she finally got her GED when she's
While
actually
she was
became a
running.
candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, give me a break. You know,
What's the point of having a gun? Guns are meant to
this
kill.
song's going out. Put this one up. I'm going to do something special here right now. Entrepreneur and one of the most incredible persons I've ever known. This one's for you, Lynn Kelly. Rest in peace. I just dedicated
this
a
is
song.
your friend, yes.
I just dedicated a song to a friend of mine who passed away. Her name is Lynn Kelly, and she's well known in the Denver area for being a community supporter. She was big in the Democratic Party, a national organization for women, owned her own PR marketing firm, was a great reporter, president of the Denver Press Club for years, the St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee, and unfortunately we lost her last week.
Did she die abruptly, or was it an ongoing
kind
sickness?
of combination. She had cancer many years back, and it came back, and she went in for her chemo. They had to put her in the hospital because she had had a bone marrow transplant a few years ago, and so they have white cells, and her body reacted badly, and her heart stopped, and so that was what happened. Lynn was a true gem, my mentor.
I read that,
friend.
and man, you did a really nice write-up, Rhonda. You wrote it so well and so with class, the way you put that up there. And you said, I have a tough time writing this, but I'm gonna write it. And I sat there, I read it 3 times. I go, wow, you really wrote that.
She was
well.
remarkable PR person, and beautiful inside and out. She walked in a room, and she was kind of a person that.
And you and I both
just
know
stopped.
there's people that you get around that just teach you so much, make you feel good. Just watching them, you pick up things.
Just being around them. I mean,
just being around, they just
you're just one of those
generate,
people.
yes.
And you know, for being a media buyer and everything in a business where women are, you know, the media buyers are kind of tough. Everyone loved Lynn. She was fair, she was tough, but she was honest.
She did things right.
She did it right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've never met a person say a bad thing about Lynn Kelly. So the song that I dedicated to her on the radio feed was "Thank You for Being a Friend."
And that's really sweet.
Just
And
thank
how
you.
long did you know her?
I met her when I almost immediately after I got out of college.
Wow, so
And
that's a long time
I was,
to know.
yeah,
So-
about 45 years, something like that.
And you're still friends. That's the thing about staying friends with somebody for so long, and you don't expect all of a sudden they're going to go and you got to say goodbye to them.
Well, and so I talked to her just a couple days before she went and to the hospital to get her treatment. But the thing with Lynn is that she really was a mentor, and a great friend, and I respected her tremendously because when I met her, I was, like I said, about 22 or 3. She's a little bit older than me, so she's about 34 or 5. And about a year before her husband Pete had died unexpectedly. And she had 3 small children, I think all under the age of 8 or 10 at the time.
Lord.
Like there was a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and like a 7 or 8 or something. And they were very young. And she wanted to be home with them, so she quit being a reporter and she opened up her own PR firm. And
she did.
Yeah, and at that time, women in PR were, owning a firm was unusual. And she
I
had
remember that. You would talk to somebody who's always a guy, a man or something.
And so she had Cheyenne Frontier Days as a client forever. At one point she had the National Western Stock Show. She's had senatorial candidates, gubernatorial candidates. She's done stuff in 22 countries and all over the country. Grew into a very big PR firm with offices in 2 states. And but more importantly, she was just a good soul. She was fun. You couldn't sit in a room and not laugh at that big smile and have a good time. And she was very helpful to me.
And
as
her
a young
children
person.
they're still living.
They're wonderful. They're all 3 children are successful and wonderful and adults and have children of their own. And her family is her sister Ginger. They're really salt of the earth. Good old Irish salt of the earth folks.
I like the way you're putting that.
And
Rhonda, you just the way you state things, your vocabulary and descriptive methods are so classy.
Oh, thank you.
And just the way you wrote it,
I'm gonna miss her. This one left a mark.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then dedicating it to her on your live show.
Yeah.
This live show has been around a long time.
Let's turn that up. Let's just go out of the show listening to that. We're just about done, so thank you, Lynn Kelly. All right.
This is one heck of a good show you put together, Rhonda. I'm so happy. The reason I'm talking over some of the AI doesn't pick up
songs
on the live.
That's true.
We can do it over the air, but not on the live because they've really cracked down on us. That's why I put my voice in there. AI doesn't pick it up.
That's good because I hate AI.
Yeah, because they'll block this entire program that we put up.
They have artificial, like when you're not intelligent, they have artificial intelligence. Artificial stupid.
You are so sweet. You say the coolest things. I learn off of you. You're a mentor to me.
We have a good show here.
So the WTF on KUHSdenver.com. This is Rhonda Shea, and I'll catch you in 2 weeks.
That's right.
Stay safe.
Hi everyone, this is Nikki Burnett, host of Taste Like Nutrition Radio.
See you later, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Fun show. Thank you, Sue.